Never mind. All right, Patriots, how you doing today? Today's February 5th, 2024. It's Monday, day 1125 of you know what, FJB. We're going to be talking about J6 updates, news, and chat. Get a chat going here. I don't got a whole lot of news today, but we had a great Freedom Corner last night. And that was Vigil number 553 last night. And it was really nice to be at Freedom Corner for a couple of nights there. Hello, Patriots. In the house, we got Nova. We got Julie, Jordan, Beverly, Jerry Plus, and Sylvia. Good to see you. Everybody get rested up since that convoy down to Texas. I mean, look at what we got started there. And that was a core group of J6 Freedom Corner veterans down there at the corner. 20 cars from Virginia Beach just got that whole thing started. And by the time it got down to Texas, what do we got? We got news, mainstream news coverage. We got 400 people baptized. We got Jesus on the airwaves, and we got a lot of wickedness exposed, which is pretty important to do. I think that is definitely the mission that God's got us on for this. We're here to save the country. We're here to get those J6ers out of prison. We're here to get that next election, secured. Make sure that we have a valid election next November. And we just exposed all kinds of evil deeds, man. And one of the evil deeds I'd like to point out is that, notice, anytime our message got into mainstream news, what's the one thing that they left out of it every single time? And that is Jesus, man. They left God out of the message, and God and Jesus and morality was a core part of the whole message of that entire convoy going down there. So take note, America. That's the one message. We got a uniparty here in this country, and they try to make it look like they're fighting against each other, but they're both on the same agenda, and that agenda is anti-God, guaranteed. And this brought a lot of attention to that. So thank you, God. Thanks for leading the way on that mission. God bless all you patriots that sacrificed everything to get down there, time and money and wear and tear on your vehicles. We pray that you all get home safely, and pray that you all can get ready for the next mission, because already we got more convoys scheduled. I heard we got a convoy down in Oklahoma starting on March 2nd or 3rd or something like that. And I'm sure there's going to be more convoys gearing up to get ready to head to locations. I think the way that convoy went, it was only 3 weeks in the planning, and it was a very organic group, that there was no centralized leadership to it. That kept the deep state scrambling. They didn't know how to deal with it, and I'm going to call this one a victory, man. Praise God. Praise God. So last night, Freedom Corner Vigil number 553. First call tonight was a short call from Chris Quaglin, and he was talking about mainstream media, how they're still propagating the lie about that election, the lie about Donald Trump. All they do is lie, man. And it's so obvious to everybody. There's polls coming out all over the place. Joe Biden, FJB's approval rating is in the ditch, man. No, man, it's cold there, Smalley. Come on, man. Yeah, we got a Freedom Corner convoy going right now, Jerry. Sherry's coming back to the Freedom Corner. Got Glory B and Kentucky with her. And I don't know if Kentucky's going to make it all the way back, but sooner or later they're heading to Freedom Corner. They're not leading a convoy or anything, but hey, America, jump in. Get in line. Get up there to Freedom Corner. Sherry just had an awesome message for veterans. And one of the main issues is that a majority of the J6ers are veterans or law enforcement or firefighters. It was a high proportion of people that love their country and serve their country that ended up being in the Capitol on January 6th, standing up for that rigged election, man. Rigged election. We're not letting that one die because it was a rigged election. We know what we saw there. We know what the evidence was. We saw the sham courts kick all them cases out, and now they're all coming back in, but they're trickling in, okay? When we started firing right after that election, man, there was like 50, 60, 70 lawsuits that just got shot down illegitimately from the courts due to lack of standing. Now they got all that legal mumbo jumbo straightened out, and boom, boom, boom. It's happening, man. These courts are finding out that there was fraud. There was mail ballot fraud. There was lying. There was concealment. There was fabrication of facts, all associated to influence that election for the steal, for the cheat. The Stop the Steal rally in D.C. on January 6, 2021 was the final push, and FJB unloaded his weaponized DOJ on anybody that didn't vote for FJB. So, and they're still going gangbusters, all right? And that's the one thing we need to point out. They're still arresting people. 2 more people from Pennsylvania just got arrested. So we got to put an end to this, people. Now is the time to stand up. Now is the time to stand up. We got momentum. We're not going to make it till November, people. And we got Congress flailing around with this goofy bill that they're going to pass. It gives $60 billion of our money away and does not fund, and says that they're going to fund the border. All right, here's another one. Is this another one, Sylvia? Trump caravan from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma to Claremore, Oklahoma. Saturday, February 17th. All right, put it on your calendar. Oklahoma, that's right down near you there. Sylvia, we can get you in on that one. Get you live streaming again, Sylvia. That's awesome. That is awesome. So yeah, Chris Quagland, the mainstream media is just full of lies. They can't tell the truth if the end of the world depended on it. They will not tell the truth. They are like belligerent children. Love it. Love it. Next phone call last night at Freedom Corner was Taylor Jonatakis. And once again, he's talking about the whole thing where your rights are not just rights, not just freedom that you have that the government gave you. These are rights from God, but with those rights comes a duty to exercise them, to keep them in tip-top shape. So as soon as one of these rights is like slightly infringed on, we got to stand up en masse. All of us, we got to stand up. We all should have stood up when they said that 15 days to flatten the curve malarkey. You know, remember when that happened, people? It all just happened. We all got it in our memories still, I hope. We all should have stood up en masse right then and there. They were infringing on our basic healthcare rights when they mandated all the actions that they were mandating. They were making it impossible to hold a job. They were keeping the people from working in mostly government jobs. Were required. There was no law that you had to do all those things. They were called mandates, and except if you had a government job, man. So they just got rid of all the people with backbone out of law enforcement, out of the military, out of the firefighters, and we all should have stood up right then and there. And now it becomes harder to stand up because their tyranny gets bigger and bigger. And that's one thing about a totalitarian government. They do not want to lose control at all. They can't stand the thought of losing control. And we're about to show them a thing or two. People all across the world are standing up right now. All across Europe, South America, and people are dying. People are suffering due to their totalitarian ideals. Thousands of people are dying on this forced march into the United States southern border right now. There's a place called the Darien Pass down in Central America where literally you got to step over bodies. People are getting kidnapped, pulled into slavery because it's a point in their journey that they're totally at will of the forces that are down there. And they're kidnapping people, they're killing people, they're raping people, they're stealing all their money. And we got like some highly educated people coming through there because they're trying to escape something from home. But that was all on a Tucker Carlson interview. And I can't remember the guy he interviewed, but I was just watching it the other day. French government caved into the farmers. Well, that's a start, Smalley. That's a start, man. So Taylor Jonathan is saying, you have a right, but you also have a duty. It's an equal thing. You don't pull the duty for having that right, then it becomes a custom to not have that right. And one of the examples that he brought up was licenses. Okay, 100 years ago, you did not need a license to build a house. You did not need a license to operate a vehicle on the public roads. You did not need a license to practice medicine. You didn't need a license. And all these licenses, they make it sound like a good idea because it's for the public safety. But the government doesn't protect my safety. We all protect our own safeties. Our God protects our safety. But as soon as you sign that dotted line that says I'm buying the license, now we need a license to get married, for crying out loud. I mean, it's never ending. You need licenses to be a plumber, to be a carpenter, to be a doctor. You know, the government doesn't hold that control, but it has become a custom for the government to do this and to fleece us. And because we did not stand up and flex our duty to protect our rights, man. So Taylor's message is getting clear to me now. I mean, when he talks, it's almost like you need 10 minutes of silence after Taylor talks in order to just digest what he just laid on you, you know? It's hard to pick up what he's laying down because it is so heavy duty. And it is so much truth, though, too, man. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the Gateway Pundit PBS documentary reveals J6 committee was all publicity stunt meant to manipulate the audience. That's why they hired like a television producer to put that whole thing on. And when it was happening, we knew that. We were telling everybody, hey, they're reading off of teleprompters, man. These are not these people's words. The J6 sham committee, right? And they put it on at prime time, like a mini-series TV show. Read that Gateway Pundit article for a better idea and to get your brain around what they just did to the whole American public with propaganda and a TV producer, and then got our compromised Congress people to play along with it. I don't know what they gave them or what they held over their heads to make them do that, but they were shamming America when they did that. And there's a great article in Gateway Pundit right there about all of that. That's right, man. Small, I'm putting that one up. That's a great comment, man. We have been asleep for 100 years. And it becomes critical now because our children, our grandchildren are about to be enslaved if we don't stand up right now. This is critical time to do this. And that convoy just, I think, got us over the hump, but we just got to keep it going, Patriots. More people are waking up. more people are seeing the light of exactly what's going on, man. So yeah, that's Taylor's message in a nutshell, but he went over all kinds of other stuff. Licenses are now required for everything. Licenses are now a whole subsection of law. But government is necessary because government restrains evil, all right? Humanity isn't automatically good. Humanity tends to turn into the more powerful people taking over. And we need government, and it's a consent among the people to protect against people that want to become a warlord, and that they will use their power to subjugate the weaker people. And the message Taylor's putting down is amazing. If you haven't heard one, check it out. He's been calling in every night. He's also telling us about, he read a section of this Atlas Shrugged book by Ayn Rand. And Ayn Rand was came from Russia a long time ago. I don't know, it's back in the 50s or so. I guess she immigrated in the early 20th century. And I would suggest everybody get a copy of that, or Fountainhead was another book that she wrote, but she wrote about the bad things about what was happening in Russia under the Tsars, and just what we should be watching out for here, man. And so it's good to read up on these older texts because of the garbage that's available now. I mean, we're just flooded with these fluffy books now, when something like what Ayn Rand was writing back then was really, really potent stuff, and it's stuff that we need to get our head wrapped around, because we are in danger right now, America. Yeah, Angela, permits. We need permits for everything. We need a license to do everything. The government doesn't issue that control, and they have slowly but surely seized that right, that power from we the people, and they've gone overboard with it. So I think it's time we step back against this. Taylor was also saying never, ever, and this was part of the Atlas Shrugged thing, that the part of Atlas Shrugged that he read was never volunteer for their tyranny. I mean, we can't stand up to the point where they're lining us up against the wall and shooting us with the resistance, but never, ever volunteer for their tyranny that they try to induce us into. They try to scare us into this stuff. Be the change that saves the world. I think that should be the motto for this generation right now. We need to be the change that saves the world right now. And man, we didn't have 10 minutes to just chill out and think about what John Attack has said, because Mickey got on the phone, and then another call from John Brew right after that. Mickey got on the microphone and was saying about when you go in there and they offer you a plea deal, they have this way of setting their sentences. It's a point system, and you get 3 points taken off of that rating to determine if you're going to get sentenced harsher. A higher number of points would get you a lengthier sentence, but if you take the plea deal, you get 3 points knocked off of that. So what Mickey was saying was that you get penalized for not taking a plea. You get penalized for taking your issue to trial when you get shanghaied into all these charges from J6. And the fact that we still got judges that are not aware of facts is really, really, really not good. Not a good thing, man. And then the fact that they're not allowing the evidence to be brought into their trials and stuff. Like, they'll have evidence that exonerates them, and they will not allow that evidence into the court. How you guys doing?
Making a video?
Huh?
Are you making a video?
Yeah, I'm live streaming right now. What's up, doggy?
This is Jack.
What's up, Zach?
village mascot.
Good to see you. Nice day to be out here, right?
Yeah.
All right, live TV.
He's out here about every 4 hours.
Judges are brought and prayed for. That's right, Stormbringer. Here we got Taylor's writings and stuff on Peasant's Perspective website, and he writes a lot of great essays and also book recommendations. You know, another guy who's a deep thinker like this and has a website is Morse. I think it's John Morse. Man, but he's got the AKA the Lego Man website that he's got book recommendations and all that stuff. This is the time that we need to be thinking about this stuff, America. And then Mickey, yeah, she was on a roll. I mean, Mickey getting on the microphone last night was, you know, a condensed amount of information into a 5-minute time on the microphone there. Judge Howe was literally helping the prosecution during the trials, some of the trials that she was sitting in on, where the judge would actually go, are you going to object to that? You know, usually the prosecution and the defense attorneys, they stand up and say, objection, right? But it came a period of time during one of these trials that Mickey was sitting in on, that apparently the leadership team felt like that should have been objected to, and the prosecution attorney was snoozing on it, you know. So the judge actually said, "Aren't you going to object to that?" And I don't know what that is, man. That's a leadership team. The judge isn't in charge. All right, Sylvia got the website. That's why great mods are worth their weight in gold. There it is. That's a Lego Man. Robert Morse, that's right. And Robert called in many times when he was in the Gulag and up at Lewisburg, and he has since been sentenced and is now out in the Bureau of Prisons world, the slave trade. And I hope he's doing well. Wherever Robert Morse lands turns into a better place, though. He's like Joseph from the Bible, man. He was a godsend to the guys in the Gulag while he was here. He was a godsend to the people in Lewisburg while they were there. Always looking out for other people more than himself, you know, and got things started to help people get along and cope with the injustices that they were dealing with. Oh, and then Mickey was saying about how the judge is making faces and snickering and stuff and looking over at the jury. The jury's watching the judge's responses to the action that's going on in the courtroom there. But she, the judge is like snickering and making faces. I mean, this is like childish. Yet this is a judge sitting in a federal courthouse in Washington, D.C., and if more people were down in that courthouse watching it, I don't think they'd be getting away with it. Mickey and Nicole and Tammy and people associated, Dead for Freedom, Roy Bunger, they're the ones that are sitting through these court cases and just, they can't believe what they're watching. But nobody else is seeing it. Mainstream media, the gatekeepers of information in this country are not watching this. It's getting right past them. And it is an outrage what's going on. Okay, so next phone call was from John Brew. John Brew, another deep thinker, man. He was talking about how the CCP can come into America and buy real estate here. They can buy land and start a factory here. They can buy shares of the infrastructure, the water systems, the electric grid, power stations, and why do we allow that? How can that possibly benefit our country to allow China, of all people, a stated enemy of America, to come in here and buy parts of our infrastructure? And this diversity, equity, and inclusion philosophy to hire people, hire them because of diversity, hire them because of equality and inclusion. And We just found out with that Boeing plane that the wall of the airplane fell off because they were under DEI hires, and the quality of the aircraft they were building wasn't an issue, you know? Craziness, man. Totalitarian control. And land use control. Land use control. That's another part of the licenses and the permitting. Foreign money interests. You know, this is not cool stuff for our country, for the strength of our country. And it's allowed here. For some reason, the Uniparty wants it to continue because it's allowed here. All right, we got some geese flying north, I hope. Right on. Beautiful, beautiful day today. A little chilly. Winter is not over, that's for sure, but it is another gorgeous day. We're losing value in our money also. We got forces in the world right now with the BRICS nations that are trying to put together a way to, you know, have commerce without the American dollar. That should be an alarm going off, but looks like Congress is asleep at the wheel on that one, man. The National Education System, right. ACLU, the Masonic Lodges. Kent Hovind. I like that guy, Kent Hovind. He's something. Sylvia, you're leading the way with the mods. You know, I mean, there's a couple of you mods that are just up there, and someday there should be a mod Hall of Fame. And I would definitely vote to put you into that. But you're training others to be great mods, you know? And the moderators and the people in the chats are integral to these channels and keeping our message clear, getting rid of the garbage that comes in there to try to diffuse and keep that message from being pure and coherent, and just keeping a clean house in the chat so we get our message out there. We have freedom of speech, you know, and then they accuse us of censoring them, but we don't go on their channels and do that stuff on their channels. You know, we let them have their channels without our interference, but they don't have it. You know, they don't have it. They are leeches. The opposition is leeches on us, man. And we saw a lot of that during this weekend down in Texas at the border there. Yes, John Brew, we got to put more money, more value back into our money. And then Mickey and John kind of got a little back and forth about the value of hard work, you know. We don't want the government just to pay us money. There is value in hard work. There is something. When you put your mind to something and you accomplish something, that gives you a sense of accomplishment when you do things like that. So there's value to that. You don't just get a check from the government. And what we're seeing is that weak men soft men create hard times. And that's where we're at right now. Because like Small Water Guy said, we've been soft, we've been ignoring it for 100 years. Yeah, and then we got these rhinos telling us, yeah, we got a good bill for the budget. Full roster of Senate GOP aiming to block the uniparty bill proposed by Rhino, Oklahoma Senator Langford. Yeah, what a piece of garbage. And then Mitch McConnell's up there talking, this is a good deal, we should do this one. It's anti-American. It is anti-American. So what we need to do, America, is have a paradigm shift, man. People got to get off their butts. They got to ask themselves, why do I got to buy a license for this? If you want communism, I think you can buy communism, okay? Where if you wreck your car, the state gets you a new car. If you get sick, the state gets you a doctor, right? If you want that, go buy insurance. If you don't want it, insurance should be optional, okay? Insurance is, I think, a form of communism or socialism where the state, you're buying the state's protection when you buy an insurance policy. I don't know a lot of people who will agree with me on that right now, but that's something I've been thinking about for quite a few years. And right on, you called Langford's office all day. Good, silly. All right, silly for him. Convoying the congressional phone lines. Let's get them calls in, man. That's the one thing we've been railing on. Call Congress. Call Congress. There is an app that you can get for your phone for free called the Bill Blaster. And it will have all your congressmen you open the app on your phone, you can get it for free. Open the app on your phone, look up your congressman, hit a button, and it calls his office. That's the type of ease that we need to have to get these phone calls in. And if we just flood their phone lines with 50 million calls, and it's provable that they just got 50 million calls and they don't act on it, I think that's grounds for removal from office. They are ignoring the people. We, the people, have the power in this country, and they work for us. Then Mickey got up another time and was just saying how COVID killed customer service, man. Since that all went down, since we had to stay 6 feet apart from each other and wear a mask and stuff. Oh my God, the stories I could tell you about the people were just so freaked out. They put plexiglass in between seats at the bar and all that, man. It's just, it made people antisocial. It made them to fear other people, like a germ might fall off of them and kill them, which is ludicrous. It's ludicrous. But there was science backing it up, telling us that that's what it was. Here's a website, right? Whoop, wrong one. Is that the website? Call, email, or write Congress members. Yeah, that's the website with all the phone numbers in it there. Thank you, Sylvia. And then Tammy got a roll call in there. Man, that roll call just gets tougher and tougher. Too many names on that list, and there's more getting arrested every week. And every name has a family that's affected by this. That's the heart-wrenching part about this. And it's just horrible. I don't know, what is there, 200 names on that list right now that are currently incarcerated? Mickey said there was 900 people in jail right now for J6. Some people have served their terms already. I don't know if you all saw Mickey Larson Olson. A gal named Mickey. She dresses up with all this Trump stuff. I mean, just dressed up. And she came to Freedom Corner. She did 6 months in jail or 8 months in jail for being at J6. And what a lovely, patriotic gal. And she was just down at the border. I don't know if you saw her on anybody's website. Okay, that app is called Bill Buster, BILLBUSTER, and you can look it up on the App Store and just click a button and get it for free. I forget who put that together. I don't know if it was somebody off of Steve Bannon's channel or something like that. Some good patriotic person put that together to make it easy to call your senators and your congresspeople. And then Jeff Sable got on, man. We did a great national anthem. And then they got into talking about these two dudes in New York who are on film beating a cop, kicking him in the head while he's down, and then getting let out of jail the next day. And then giving the double bird finger to the press that was there to photograph him walking out of that courtroom with no charges for assault and battery on a police officer. I mean, real assault and battery on a police. Nothing like this J6 stuff where they shook a fence and they called that assault on a police officer. Stormbringer, I'm with you, bud. I'm with you. We'll see what happens, man. I feel sorry for the people in the cities because it's heating up fast right now. People are waking up fast. And there's going to be easier places to be when that happens. So, and then Jeff Sable ended his phone call with the plea once again. Please, America, get involved. Make it stop. If we don't, We have to make it stop. We have no options. The world that we know of in America is going to end for our children and our grandchildren if this doesn't get stopped now. And we may or may not make it to November. And we may or may not have a secure election in November. So it is time to stand up now. Please, America, get involved. And then there's another bill introduced. 1.5 million illegal immigrants they want to get 1.5 million of them green cards by 2030. And it just gets weirder and weirder from our government, man. We got to flood them lines with phone calls. We got to let them know they are on guard, that we're onto them. They got to do something about this fraud election. They got to do something about the J6ers and the border. Otherwise, we're going to lose our country, America. So that was it for Freedom Corner. It was so awesome to be back and see these patriots that stand in that sewer every day between a cemetery and a prison on a dead-end road with cops up and down the road snoozing in their cars on overtime. It's repulsive. It is repulsive. So I got word on Thomas Ballard. J6er Thomas Ballard was supposed to be shipped out of the prison weeks ago. And for some reason, they didn't take him out. But we just got word that Thomas Ballard had his temperature taken, which means he's about to get loaded up into a van and taken somewhere. And he's looking forward to just getting to wherever he's got to serve out his sentence and just getting it on with, get it over with there. And then I got word that Brandon Fellows, his sentencing got pushed to the end of February. I think there's a Gateway Pundit article on that too, but I'm not sure where I got that information, man. So that's all I got today. Sherry and Kentucky are doing live streams right now. They might be on right now doing one. And man, Sherry just had an awesome message for the veterans in this country to stand up. You took an oath. The rate at which they incarcerated veterans is too high, and we need to stand up and let them know that let other veterans stand up and let them know that no man is left behind. Sherry, you got a heart of gold, sweetheart. You got a heart of gold. I am so honored to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with you on these issues that we've been fighting for so long. And all you other patriots too, everybody that made it down to Texas. What a sacrifice you all just made for this country. And it was money. I mean, it hundreds and hundreds of dollars it took to get down there. And time off from work. You could have been at work earning money, but no, you were in a convoy trying to bring attention to it, and it did. It worked this time. And I think we got a framework for a way to combat these totalitarians with what we have available to us, basically. 25-year-old vans and people that'll give us gas money, basically. And we'll see what the government does about it. See how much of a tantrum they're going to pull if we don't stop doing it and bringing attention to their tyranny. Yep, that's it. So Patriots, thanks for joining in today. Thanks for checking out that whole weekend of wonderful patriotic activity and God, we love our country. We love God. We love our families. We love our country, in that order. And we just want everybody to have the ability to love their God and their family and their country. We don't want to put anybody down. You know, everybody is equal, but life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness should be available to everybody. So Patriots, I'll see you in the chats tonight at Freedom Corner, and let's continue the battle. Thanks for joining me. This is Jericho, over and out.